The Outdoor Show. It's the program that puts you into the peaceful and beautiful home of Mother Nature. It moves you back to that calm fishing pond up north, one step away from Lake Michigan, or into your hunting blind on a brisk fall morning. The Outdoor Show. It's a peaceful program. This is not your mother's outdoor show. This is the WHTC Outdoor Show, hosted by a guy who literally has hunting in his name. Tom Meddendorp is Dutch for Village in the Maiden, or King's Hunting Ground. Your co-host, sometimes, is Tim Becker of Powderhorn Guns and Archery. It's time for what really happens when the guys go up north on that hunting trip. It's time for the WHTC Outdoor Show, presented by My Firearms ETS. That's MI Firearms ETS on 1450 WHTC, Holland's news leader.
Good morning. Welcome to the Outdoor Show. I'm Tom Meddendorp. My sometimes co-host Tim Becker from Powderhorn Guns and Archery is not with us today, but that's because we're pre-recorded. So hold your calls until next week when we're back live. Today, I'm here with Josh Mapes of Overdrive Outdoors, and we've got Paul on the line. And Paul, what's your business? Where are you from?
Hey, Tom and Josh. This is Paul Cianciolo. I'm the owner of a company called Predator Hunter Outdoors. We specialize in your nighttime predator hunting lighting equipment, and we're based out of Romeo, Michigan.
So Predator Hunter Outdoors, Romeo, Michigan. Just for the listeners, whereabouts, give us a bigger town.
Okay, we're about 40 miles due north of Detroit. We're kind of between Flint and Port Huron along the I-69 corridor there, slightly south.
Okay. Now, I've heard of Romeo before, but I didn't know exactly where it was, and now I think I could probably find you.
Yeah, we're right up M53 Van Dyke, 32-mile road area.
Excellent. Josh, Paul, there's a few things going on in the outdoors here, and one of those things is our legislation that's going on, and Senate Bill 34 and 35 this week went through our legislation, and it's ready for the governor to sign. And that's the bill that replaces 789 and 790 of 2012, which is the one that eliminates having the gun boards, and it does not eliminate getting a background check done. It just changes who's doing the background check or how the responsibility is laid out. It also makes it more expedient to get your concealed pistol licenses. This is legislation for concealed carry, and I'm excited about it. I think it's a great move. I think it's going to streamline the process and make things better for us with concealed carry. Are either of you guys concealed carriers?
I am not currently.
Josh, you're not. Paul, are you?
No, I actually I went and took my classes and everything for it, and I think just because of being so busy in the process of it that you were talking about, I never acted on it, and I actually took it again about a month ago, but I still haven't had the opportunity to act on it yet.
Well, goodness gracious, if you took it twice, you'd think you'd know everything there is to know about it and be able to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you could do? You could come over to Michigan Firearms, that's me, of course, and you could take the course again, and you'll still learn a lot more.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, there's always more to learn. Yeah, I need to get down there and get that all taken care of already.
Third time's a charm, Paul.
Yeah.
The third time's a charm. Yeah, because if you come to us for the third time, there's definitely a charm, right?
Absolutely.
So, I'm just kind of curious, with all this cold weather, you guys ice fish? Paul, you ice fish?
Yeah, I do some ice fishing, yeah.
Josh, you ice fish?
I do very little. I prefer other activities on the ice that involve coyotes. So.
You get on the ice and shoot them coyotes. Well, that's a little
those rivers.
Yeah.
Well, I think the ice is thick enough right now that even my friend that told me once, he was telling my sons and I places to go ice fishing. I said, why don't you just go with us and show it to us? He says, oh, no, I don't go on the ice. I said, what? He says, yeah. If God intended me to walk on water, he'd have made me his only son.
That's a good one.
So, but the ice is very thick right now in most places. I'm sure there's some spots where you might have currents or bubblers or things like that would thin it out. But if we, get out there on the ice, what do you fish for when you get out on the ice there, Paul?
We mostly fish for perch over there in Lake St. Clair area.
Okay. Well, you guys got a lot of walleye over there, though, don't you?
Yeah, not so much in Lake St. Clair there. Mostly we do a little bit, me and my brother-in-law mostly, we get up there to, up into Saginaw Bay there, and that's where we do our best with our walleyes.
And you do that ice fishing wise?
Yes, yeah.
So when you ice fish for walleye, do you do something different? Because like when we go for panfish and so on, we got certain jigs and everything else, but do you do something different to get walleye?
It's the same basic concept that we use. We mostly just jig. The difference being kind of the downfall of it in my eyes is that you're fishing a lot deeper water, which you're not able to see your fish down there, which I think is more than half the fun of ice fishing, is being able to see what's going on down there.
So do you use a Vexilar or do you use cameras or anything?
Yeah, they use them more than me. I pretty much just keep to my same tactic as if I was fishing for perch in Lake St. Clair and the water might be cloudy. I'll just watch my bobber for my minnow doing its thing. If I'm using a minnow and getting a little squirrely on me, then I have a better idea that there's something down there. But
oh yeah,
yeah. But other than that, no, I like to use the same type of process with it.
Do you fish walleye in the summertime?
Yeah, we do, and that's mostly we don't go to Saginaw Bay for our walleyes in the summer. We stick to mostly the St. Clair River, Harson's Island area on the southern end of the river there, and we don't get into the Detroit River a whole lot, other than in the early spring there when they're doing pretty good. But most of the time throughout the summer, we spend it up there on Lake St. Clair and St. Clair River.
Nice. Did you know that we over here on the west side we have the West Michigan Walleye Club? And folks, they can get a membership in the West Michigan Walleye Club for $30. That's annual, and it also gives them a membership in MUCC, Michigan United Conservation Clubs. But for that $30, there's 8 tournaments for adults throughout the summer months, and those, I should say, just the unfrozen months. But those tournaments, if you're a member of the West Michigan Walleye Club and you go to that tournament, you don't have to pay any entry fee.
Oh. Nice. That's a great incentive in itself right there for $30, eh?
Yeah. Now, there's no big money to win out of the tournaments, but what everybody does is they go, and, of course, the winners, they all tell how they did it. And everybody gets educated, and kids and adults alike just absolutely love it. And they've got other events and stuff, too, throughout the year. But, man, for $30, and you get into all the tournaments, and you can get recognition that you won, or you can find out how to win and how to fish better, I think that's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, I talked about some of this legislation and talked about the West Michigan Walleye Club, but what's more important, and probably going to get Josh a little more excited, because he's kind of sitting over there waiting for me.
I just got out of work.
We're recording this right after he got done working, so he's tired. But is the coyote hunting. And
now we're talking.
Yeah. See, now he's joined us.
Yeah.
But you've got the stuff that you sell for predators. Is that all nighttime stuff, or is it like everything?
No, it's specialized for the nighttime hunter.
Okay.
Paul,
you are setting yourself up to get a little bit bigger into the every aspect, though, right?
Yes, actually, yeah, we're gonna by next year this time or late fall, early fall even, we're gonna have it set to where someone can come to our site and we're gonna offer everything for the predator hunter, day and night, calls, decoys, scents, everything we'll have there.
Well, that'll be really nice. So you have a regular storefront then?
No, we don't have a storefront. Everything is just our online business. And it's been working out really good for us. So we really don't we don't feel like we have the the coyote hunter population here in this area to justify that right now. So the online deal is working out great for us.
So does that make you a bona fide internet startup?
Yeah, it does, definitely.
He does have quite a few dealers around the state, though. So.
Yeah. Good point there, Josh. Yeah, we do have quite a few dealers that do have their storefronts around the state, as well as other stores throughout the country that carry our stuff.
So do you have throughout the state here? Do you have stores on this side of the state that carry your stuff that people could get the things we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, probably the closest one we have over there to the west side would be DNR Sports Center in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
But yeah, nothing a whole lot farther west than that. So.
Well, that's pretty far west.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be back in just a minute. The Outdoor Show is brought to you by Westonbrook Mower, where they service what they sell. All units are ready to use when they leave the store, and Westonbrook submits your warranty information so you don't have to. Stop into the Holland or the Jennison store. Check them out on your computer at westonbrookmower.com or call them at 616-396-5733. We'll be back here shortly on the Outdoor Show. Welcome back to the Outdoor Show, brought to you by Powderhorn Guns and Archery, for all your arrow knocking, gun cocking, fish hooking, flag waving, stand up and sing, God bless America hunting and fishing needs. We're back, but we're pre-recorded today, so hold your calls until next week when we're here live. So what do you think, Paul? Did you stand up and start saluting?
Yeah.
Everybody loves that read when I do that read, because we also have the Stars and Stripes playing in the background. Everybody got to hear that, but you didn't get to hear it during the recording. So,
Yeah.
I thought for a second we lost you there, that you did stand up and drop the phone when you were saluting the flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyhow, we left off with coyote populations. What do you, Josh pointed out the how prolific they are, and that they're, to make a difference, 75% would have to be hunted down and taken as game. But what do you think, like on your side of the state? I know over here, I see them more and more than what I did as I was, in years past. But I've had my dog attacked before. The neighbor had a dog taken right from the leash. And this was years ago. I mean, we're talking 23 years ago when my dog got attacked and actually fought his way back into his own coop. And then the next night, they came back for him. And this was after I took him to the vet and we stitched him up and everything else. And I had him in the garage. But them buggers came back. And I couldn't get a round in the gun quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think, you definitely hear a lot more of the coyote population lately than you had in the past. There's been a lot of things in the state of Michigan alone, really, that have been associated with the coyote and attacks going on in different areas. I think it's a hot topic, and I think that people are recognizing it more, and they're recognizing the fact that there are more coyotes, so they're more apt to keep an eye out for something like that. And I think it's just like every other animal population. Some areas are heavy, some areas they're not as heavy. And
and that depends on habitat, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they're you hear about all the coyotes until you get out there and you want to hunt them, and then you realize there must not be as many around, because
Exactly.
we came back empty-handed again. So.
Well, I'm going to give this up to you and Josh. Give us just a rundown of what it takes to prepare to be a nighttime coyote hunter.
Ooh, you got time for this?
Well, yeah, I'll cut you off if we run out of time.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, how about
Go ahead,
getting
Josh.
started?
I'll follow up with you.
Yeah.
Well, getting started, first thing off, for nighttime in Michigan, you need either a shotgun or a rimfire rifle. You cannot use centerfire rifle after dark in Michigan. That
Right.
is a big misunderstanding that a lot of people have. We see it all the time. Can I use my 22-250? No, you cannot. Rimfire or shotgun only.
For nighttime.
For nighttime.
But you can use it for daytime.
Correct. All the way, statewide, you can use centerfire.
There's a misunderstanding there, too, because
Yes.
we have our limited firearm deer zone down here.
Yes.
And people think, well, I can't use that 22-250 to shoot a coyote.
Correct.
No, you can't use it to shoot a deer.
Right. And the only time that those specific rules apply is during deer season. After that, they don't apply to the predator hunting. I've used a 243 for almost 10 years now throughout the state, and it's perfectly legal during the day. Now, obviously, if you're going out at night, you need a way to see. There are a lot of guys that choose to go under just the cover of darkness with a moonlight, a bright moonlight. But the problem with that is how many days a month do you have a full moon? I can go hunting with Paul's lights every night of every month if I wanted to, because I have the ability to see with Paul's lights. Out to 400 yards, I get eye shine. Out to 200 yards plus, I get a full body illumination. Now, you don't get that with a moon. I don't care how bright the moon is, 200 yards out after dark. I'm not seeing a whole body of an animal coming.
Unless you're the coyote.
Correct. And I don't have their vision either. So, I mean, like I said, you got to have a rimfire, shotgun, and you have to have some kind of lighting system unless you want to just go when it's a full moon. And I don't like to stay out of the woods that often, so I go with Predator Hunter Outdoors night snipe lights, and I can hunt whenever I want to, moon or no moon.
So if one wanted to get into the coyote hunting, what kind of cost do we have? I mean, what kind of course we have to dress warm, right? And we have to go from there. So
like I was saying earlier, it's a fairly inexpensive sport to get into. You can pick up most of your hand calls for you can pick up a hand call for $10 if you want. Most guys already have the warm clothing for their deer hunting or whatever wintertime activities they have. And they've usually, they've already got their weapon of choice as well for that. That's going to do them good. Most guys in Michigan have a shotgun already, and that's, like Josh said, the laws that we have here for our night hunting. The shotgun is a nice weapon choice for Michigan coyotes, especially when you get into some of that thicker stuff. You're not shooting much farther anyway than what that shotgun is capable of. So. Most guys already have what they need. It's just a matter of, if you want to get into the night hunting and get a little bit more in depth with it, with picking yourself up a light. We carry a variety of different, packages that we have available, all the way from our Class 1 kit, we call it, up to our Class 4 kit, and that's going to range from $140 up to $320. So it really just depends how in-depth you want to get with it right off the bat. But everything that we carry gives the nighttime predator hunter what he needs, whether it's the Class 1 or the Class 4, to get out there and be successful and light up the night like he needs to.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going online here, and I'm looking up PredatorHunterOutdoors.com. That's the right website, right?
Yes.
PredatorHunterOutdoors.com. And I'm looking at this. Now, you said a Class 1, Class 4.
Go to his hunting lights.
Go ahead.
What's the difference? What does that mean to go Class 1, Class 4?
Basically, your Class 1, we have a Class 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's just a classification. We're using the same light for each of those classes, the same power of light, the same batteries, same interchangeable LEDs. Everything to that light itself is the same. Basically, with your Class 1, you're getting one mounting system and one color LED of your choice. You go to the Class 2, you're getting two mounting systems of your choice, two LED colors of your choice, 3, and then right on up till you get to the Class 4. Now, the Class 4 basically gives you everything that we offer, all of our switches, LED colors, mounts, and you're actually getting two lights with that Class 4. And the advantage to having two lights is that when you're sitting on stand, you've got one light mounted on your weapon. Right back when you went into saying the things that come into play with your night hunting, there's a lot of things going on. You have a lot to do. You've got your call to operate. You've got your light to operate, a camera if you've got it on stand. You're watching for those coyotes. So having that second light and being able to sit there and do all of your eye scanning, your eye shine with your handheld light is really beneficial to the predator hunter at night, not having to actually use his weapon to do his scan work with, to look for those eyes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And he also offers the night snipe headlamp.
I was just going to ask you about the
with.
night snipe.
Yep.
I see it on the website here. The night snipe, I'm seeing green color. Is that a night vision?
No, it's not night vision. It's just another option. Just another option for the predator hunter to use. You know, right with what Josh was saying. You know, there are parts of Michigan where guys prefer the green light, and they have success with the green light. It goes right back to the coyote vision and the way that they're able to see things. And sometimes, you know, the green really came into play not that many years ago when the hog issues started becoming a real problem down south, and guys found it hard to see the dark bodies of those hogs with that dark shade of a red light. So they started using a green light and found that it worked just as well. And that kind of rolled right over into the coyote hunting as well.
I gotcha. I see you've got all different types of mounts too for these lights.
Yes, absolutely. We've got shotgun mounts, bolt action, semi-auto, crossbow, compound. Our archery equipment uses actually a completely different light there. It mimics most guys' stabilizers, weight and size, and we offer our dampening systems on that as well. And that's a very popular light for guys that it's recently become popular using the crossbow for their predator hunting. And mostly the guys down south they're hunting those hogs with their archery equipment.
Okay, so I'm breezing through here. I see one mount that mounts to the scope, and then up above would be the light above the scope, which I think is awesome. But then I also see AR style rail mount. So say I want to put this on an AR style gun. I can't use my 223 or 5.56, but I can use a 22 LR in an AR style, right?
Correct. Yes, you can.
Okay. So I'm just curious about all this stuff. I mean, I went out one time at night to hunt coyotes, and it was really, really, really cold. And I don't know if I could say really enough times because it was very cold. We went out there and we really had no idea what we were doing. And basically we went out and we sat sat in some blinds that we had on some property, and then we called from there. Now, when I say that, I've called in the summertime, I've called coyotes right into the fire. And right where we're sitting in the woods, we'd take the kids camping, long story, but anyway, we'd be sitting around the fire with the kids, and then the coyotes would come in real nice and tight and close in the summertime. And this is in the late July and August, in the months that we did this. Well, so I did some of the same calling techniques and stuff when we went out there, and we know the coyote are in that area, but we didn't have any responses. We didn't have anything coming in, and we sat there for way too long. So, you know, it was almost disappointing. I don't know how to say that, but what's wrong with that setup? Go out, set up like you're sitting in a deer blind, okay? Make calls and have a red spotlight ready to go. What's wrong with that setup? It was a little bit windy too.
Probably nothing at all is wrong. You just gotta. What you need to understand is that during the summertime, they will answer totally different than they will during the wintertime. During the wintertime, they've already been hunted. They've already been ran by hounds. They've already been called to. During the summertime, you got a fresh litter of pups that has never heard calls before. You got females that are willing to protect those pups no matter what the situation is.
Right.
And you got males that are protective, and sometimes they will also come in to kill a pup. I don't know how else to say it. Sometimes they will do that. They'll come in 2 or 3 of them. Now, with coyotes, what I've seen, the female usually remains with the pack. The male will kind of wander off after the pups are born. That's just from my experience. There might be other guys that say differently, but I've called in a lot of single males during the summertime, and I've called in a lot of very, very aggressive, protective females during the summertime. Then you go out to those same spots like you were saying during the wintertime, and all of a sudden they're just not coming. It's because of the season change. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you a number of how many pups actually survive, but they're less to protect during that time. And now they're worried about food, and they're worried about just surviving through the winter, plus
Right.
staying hidden from all the danger that they've already encountered.
And those pups have grown from the beginning of July now. They've grown into the winter, so they're more capable of handling themselves at that point,
Correct. Yep.
right? Okay.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna come back for one more segment here on coyote hunting in just a moment. The Outdoor Show is brought to you by Advantage Marine in Zeeland, with competitive prices and personalized service to meet all your needs: repair, storage, winterizing, parts, and more. Call Advantage Marine in Zeeland at 616-748-9235 or stop in and see Dave at 8755 Riley Street in Zeeland. That's at the corner of 88th and Riley on the northeast side of Zeeland. We'll be back here shortly on the Outdoor Show. Welcome back to the Outdoor Show, brought to you by Lakeshore Tackle and Firearms, your full-service gun dealer, stocking new and used firearms, Glock, Sig Sauer, Ruger, and more. Lakeshore Tackle and Firearms are buyers of all kinds of firearms and located at 6398 Blue Star Highway, just 6 short miles south of Holland at exit 41. Find them on your computer at lakeshoretacklandfirearms.com. We're back, but we're pre-recorded today, so hold your calls until next week when we're here live. And just to let people know, we're here with Josh Mapes and Paul. I couldn't hear how you said your last name when we first introduced you. Could you do that for me one more time?
Sure, it's simple. It's Cianciolo.
It's simple. It's Cianciolo.
Cianciolo.
Yes, perfect.
Cianciolo. Well, I do pretty good with names, but I don't know if I would be able to do that the first time seeing the spelling.
Yeah, you're not the only one. So.
And Paul is, name of your business again, Paul?
Predator Hunter Outdoors.
Predator Hunter Outdoors. And Paul is over in Romeo, Michigan, but Paul has everything on the internet. And how do they find your stuff? Is that the actual website, Predator Hunter Outdoors?
Yep, that would be it. PredatorHunterOutdoors.com.
PredatorHunterOutdoors.com. And you can also find stuff, we just found out in the last segment, we can find stuff over at DNR Sports, right?
Yes, DNR Sports.
Excellent. Now, talking about nighttime hunting and nighttime equipment. Now, many people grow up learning that, you're not supposed to hunt at night. And, using those shining lights and stuff and everything else, that's not right. Well, then and that's in regard to shining for deer and so on. And we got times that are cut off. And then all of a sudden they learn that, I can hunt a coyote at night. And that's kind of what we want to talk about a little bit today for people. Even though nighttime hunting in Michigan is coming to a close, just for people to know what's all out there, and then we can get into some daytime stuff as well. Tell me some more about hunting outside or at night. I mean.
Well,
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, hunting at night is a lot easier actually to get a predator out, especially out in the open areas. Predators use they've got night vision in a predator's world, and they also feel more secure to move in the cover of darkness. Now, that doesn't mean they don't move in the daytime. We have called them in the middle of the day, noon, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just all about setup. Now, I know Paul has said before that he's sat some thicker areas even after dark. I prefer the thicker areas in the middle of the day, and then once darkness starts setting in, that's when I can move back out into the open areas. And, I mean, it's just a lot easier to get a coyote or a fox or a bobcat, whatever you're after, to cross a wide open field, to come in a little bit less cautious into the open, because that's when they do their thing the best, so...
Well, when Josh says this, now Josh is Josh Mapes, Overdrive Outdoors. You folks can find him on Facebook here. But when you say get into the thick and get into the more in the open, do you have products, Paul, that help get those coyotes to come where you're at? Or is it products to see them?
Yeah, that would be more on your call and your mouth calls or your electronic calls. Our end is mostly, the specifics, strictly the lighting equipment that you're using. And with your predators, you want to go ahead and you want to use a red light. And the reason being is right back to what Josh said about the way that those coyotes see. And and basically they have coyotes have a 2-cone retina in comparison to the humans that have a 3-cone retina, which gives us the full color spectrum.
Okay.
Coyotes are able to see their shades good, their blues, their yellows, and their red is what kind of falls off the end of their color spectrum, their visible color spectrum. So that's why we tend to go with the red color, the red light to do the job.
So even though you're lighting them up, the red light, they don't actually see that they're getting lit up?
They don't see it as well. It is the least visible color to them, and just like anything else, depending on the coyote or the situation, the amount of pressure they've had. Yeah, most of the time, you're not going to go ahead and spook that animal with that red light like you would have with a white light. The white light, you go ahead and you flip that thing on, and there's not even a second thought behind that coyote, and he's gone. You turn the red one on, and they're a lot more apt to come into that call, even with that light shining right at them.
Huh.
No, and another thing is too, it changes, between Michigan and, let's say, Michigan and Texas, because there's guys, Paul, you know this probably too, down in Texas, Mexico, stuff like that are using white lights off the back of trucks, and they're not having any problem with it. I think it all varies between states, don't you, Paul?
Yeah, I do actually, and I think obviously the dogs still see things the same, but it comes right down to the amount of pressure they have and the amount of dogs there and how hungry they are and just how willing they are to come into that light.
Yep, absolutely.
Huh. Recently I saw a little news clip about the coyotes and how a guy got attacked in Colorado as he was walking to work by 2 coyotes, and he had to use his flashlight to beat them off. Now, that kind of tells me that the population is getting overpopulated. Do you guys think that we're having more coyotes, more dense populations due to the fact that we have less predator hunters and less trappers?
If I could speak on that, I would like to say that we do have a higher population than we've probably ever had in the past. We went over this the last time I was with you.
Mm-hmm.
They have the ability to have larger litters if the population gets low. Estimates say you'd have to kill over 75% of the coyote population to even notice a difference the next year. Wow. That is a lot of coyotes. I don't care how many people are out there hunting them. I don't think you'll ever take that many coyotes out of a population to notice a difference. But a lot of people are starting to see them more out and about more often, more in the city areas. Honestly, I think it's because of all the housing developments going up, houses being built, woods being cut down. These coyotes, they have to go somewhere.
Well, we definitely do interfere with nature itself.
Absolutely.
Why don't we talk a little bit more on that in just a moment? Farmers Co-op Elevator in Hudsonville is your food plot headquarters with over 40 different seed varieties to choose from, providing in-house soil testing as well as fertilizers, lime, and equipment to plant, maintain, and get maximum performance out of your food plot. Visit the Farmers Co-op at 3302 Prospect Street in Hudsonville. For a complete list of products and services, check them out online at fcelevator.com. We'll be back here shortly on The Outdoor Show. Welcome back to The Outdoor Show, brought to you by MOA Gunsmithing, exclusive dealer for Leatherwood, Hilux Optics, and 300 below cryogenics freezing, as well as firearms repairs, specializing in Mauser rifle custom work and restoration. MOA Gunsmithing is your accuracy headquarters for target and varmint shooting. Visit knowyourzero.com for rifle builds, accuracy tests, and products reviews. Call 616-502-3374. MOA Gunsmithing, right on, dead on, all the time. So we're back, and we're talking to you today with Josh Mapes, Overdrive Outdoors. You can find him on Facebook. And also with, I'm not going to be able to do it, Paul.
Paul Cienciolo.
Cienciolo. Paul Cienciolo from, it's PredatorHunterOutdoors.com. You can find everything that you need to know about Predator Hunter Outdoors right there on the website, PredatorHunterOutdoors.com. And Paul's over in Romeo, Michigan right now. We've got him on the phone, and we've been talking to him about coyote hunting, nighttime coyote hunting, and all that good stuff. And we started out the show telling you about some different things. We told you about the Walleye Club and getting hooked up with the Walleye Club this year, the West Michigan Walleye Club, which you can find at westmichiganwalleyeclub. I can't remember if it's org or .com. It's West Michigan Walleye Club. I think you can just search that, and I'll do that in just a minute to confirm it. But I wanted to tell you about something else that was going on, and I'm trying to find the information on my phone. Yes, here it is. Greg Abbas, Abbas. Greg Abbas is a champion caller and a guide and TV host for a program I don't know. I just got the information. But Wednesday night here in town, folks, over at Ridgepoint, they're going to do a thing where Greg Abbas is coming in. He's a champion caller, and as I said a moment ago, but the doors open at 6. The seminar's at 6:30, and the cost is only $5. And it's over at Ridgepoint Church. That's the info I have right now, and I hope people can get there. I don't know who they can call and so on, but definitely call over to Ridgepoint Church and ask them about it. It's Wednesday night, March 3. Wednesday, March 3, that they could, or was that Tuesday? It's March 3.
Yeah, Tuesday, yeah.
I'm sorry, it's Tuesday, March 3. Well, this is kind of a last minute thing that I was just trying to throw in there for somebody to help them out, that this is going on. And it's, yes, it's March 3, 6 p.m. Doors open at 6, and the seminar starts at 6:30. Greg Abbas, champion caller, guide, and TV host will be there over at Ridgepoint. So check it out. Anyway, talking with Paul and Josh here about the coyote hunting. If we get started, obviously I have everything I need except maybe the red light, right?
Yep.
So I could get the red light over at PredatorHunterOutdoors.com. But now, how do I use that light? Do I keep it on?
It's a debatable situation too. Everybody does it their own way. You'll see on my Facebook page, Overdrive Outdoors, or Paul also has Facebook page, Predator Hunter Outdoors on Facebook, or Night Snipe Lights or Hunting Lights on Facebook, I believe, right, Paul?
That's correct, yep.
Okay. We have some videos on there that we share back and forth. Paul shares a lot of our Overdrive videos on there. The way we scan, and you'll see it in these videos, is we'll call, and then 15, 30 seconds, we'll scan real quick, looking for eyes. Then we'll call again, scan real quick, shut the light off, call more. And, everybody has their own style. I've had some guys say, I scan every 5 minutes. Why aren't I seeing coyotes? I know they're here. Well, in 5 minutes, a coyote can cover a lot of ground and get right by you to the point of, he came right through your setup, and now he knows that you're there, and you're not going to get a shot at him anymore. So I scan, like I said, 15 to 30 seconds, just real quick, looking for eyes. When I get eyes, that's when I keep my light on. Now, like I said, again, everybody does it differently. I like to preserve battery life, especially if I plan on being gone all night long.
Okay.
Now, he does offer like car chargers and stuff like that for all these lights, for the batteries for these lights. So I never have to worry about running out of battery, but I just, at the same time, don't like holding the light up the whole time. But everybody else will do it differently. Paul might do it differently than I do. So.
Okay. So what do you do, Paul? Do you do the scan every so often kind of thing like Josh does?
Yeah, I do actually, and really, for me, it depends on my setup. If I'm sitting there over a cut bean field or a hay field or something, and chances are that coyote's going to be coming out of that creek bottom or that thicket on the opposite end of that hay field, and I can see 300 yards, I'm going to tend to scan a little bit less. Considering the fact that, that coyote's not going to be on you as quick as if you were, your limited distance was 100 yards. If you're scanning at 100 yards, every minute, then the chances are of that coyote coming out and being on you and detecting you before you detect it are a lot greater. So, I scan a little bit less, but nothing less than 15, 20 seconds or so, no matter what, depending on how big the field is. And yes, once you detect that coyote, then you don't want to turn that light off, because you don't want to. They're great at disappearing, so you don't want to lose where he is, and you don't want to keep the beam of that light, the strong beam of that light, right on that coyote that entire time. You want to just keep enough light on him to be able to keep an eye on him and continue to draw him in, and then when you're ready to take the shot, then you light him up with the full beam and take that shot.
So you just kind of keep the direct beam off from them?
Yeah, use the halo, basically, the halo of the light.
Okay. And they're less disturbed by that?
Yeah, they are, and the lights are capable of detecting your eye shine at 400 and 500 yards. So, once you pick that animal up out there, yeah, you've got eye reflection. There's an animal there. You want to give them just enough light that you have to continue to, see where they're at, so you don't lose track of them. But yeah, you don't want to hit them with that full power. Some guys do. Everybody's got a different way of doing it, but the least amount of light you can use, the best, until you're ready to take that shot, and then you go ahead and with the way that those lights are lined up with your scope on that gun, they're lined up perfect, and that's going to give you your target fully illuminated right there and able to make that shot.
So would it be best if I had a handheld to keep them in the halo, and then when it's time to take that shot with my gun, then I turn the one on that's on the scope?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, that's the whole point behind that scan light, is to be able to do that. And you've got very limited movement. You can cover a lot of areas off to your sides with very limited movement. And then the other option too is our headlamp. We offer our headlamps with your red, green, and white LEDs as well. And that headlamp is going to get you out there almost the same distance as those weapon-mounted lights. You're going to get 200 yards of full-body detection, 400 and 500 yards of eye shine. So the headlamp is a really nice multi-purpose unit there. Guys can use it from the second they get out of their truck to get their equipment ready, walk out to their stand with that red LED on. They're not scaring game like they normally would with a white light headlamp, and then they can use that same headlamp to do all their scan work with. So it's another nice thing. I know the guys from Overdrive really like to use that method with the headlamp.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you coming on the phone with us today to do this recording and so on, but I got to tell you, on Friday, March 13th, I don't know if you can get to this side of the state or not, the doors open at 6 p.m. It's over at Evergreen Ministries. It's the Sportsman's Expo. Evergreen Ministries is located at 4512 48th Avenue in Hudsonville, and there's going to be a whole bunch of vendor tables there. And then there's seminars. We're going to be doing seminars starting at 6:30, and then repeated again at 8 o'clock. So you can go to 2 different seminars. Out of those seminars, we got the Food Plots 101, we got the turkey hunting, we got the coyote hunting, we got the walleye fishing, duck and goose calling, firearm safety with yours truly, for Michigan Firearms, and then smallmouth bass fishing. And the doors open at 6 o'clock. We're going to have the stuff get started at 6:30 and then repeated again at 8. So you get 2 chances to hit those shows. And hopefully, Paul, you can come over and check it out. Maybe you can't, maybe you can, but that's Paul Wait a minute.
Cianciolo.
Oh, Cianciolo. I was trying to figure out where the L fit in. It's Paul right. Cianciolo. It's PredatorHunterOutdoors.com. And Josh Mapes, Overdrive Outdoors, on Facebook. And thank you guys very much for doing the show with me today. And hopefully we can get you on the line again sometime soon. Thank you again for listening to today's show, and we'll talk to you again next week right here on The Outdoor Show.
Thanks for listening to the WHTC Outdoor Show, presented by Powderhorn Guns and Archery and My Firearms ETS. That's MI Firearms ETS on 1450 WHTC, Holland's news leader.